I've always had an interest in older retro style mountain bikes and just bikes in general, just how people used to ride way before everything got so technical. And this is a great place to try out a bike like this. I heard a lot of history about this, read up on it. This used to be a great bike for racing, and it was a really sought out bike back in the early 2000s when it first came out. So I'm super appreciative for Adventure Cycling to let me try this bike out. All right, here's the Schwinn Homegrown. And this thing is really light. It's got smaller wheels. I think these are 26s, not as many components as the bikes nowadays, not as much travel. But for this to be so old, this thing is super light. Like, you could just throw this thing around. It's like a toy bike. I can't believe people used to ride these things like hardcore and race on them. I think this was considered a race bike. People would race on this thing, which is why it's so light. The stem is so long to try to get you that momentum going forward. But we're gonna take it out today and see what it's like. All right, we just set up our shot for our first little uphill right here. We ain't got no dropper, we ain't got nothing. It's straight raw mountain biking right now. This thing is so light, oh my goodness. It's so easy to climb, this is ridiculous. This is probably super random and completely off topic, but this is one thing I noticed about this bike, which I honestly love. And it's weird that I've even noticed this. When I set up my shot, I sat the bike down just like this. I didn't even really care. It just feels like it's a tool that's being used to ride, and I don't really need to treat it delicately, if that makes sense. And it's not something that I was like, oh, it's old, I'm gonna just throw it around. It was just subconsciously, it felt like when I was a kid and I just put my bike down and didn't really care about it, because it's just a bike. And I like that this bike gives you that feel, because when I went to pick it back up to go do the next shot, I just picked it up and I was ready to go. It's so weird, it's hard to explain it, but I really like that feeling. I feel no pressure with this bike. It feels like I could just focus on having fun and actually riding the bike. Now, as I climb up this little technical section, I wonder if it can do it. But I wish there was a better way for me to explain this. It's not that I feel pressure riding other bikes. It's just this one feels like an actual bike. Like when you were a kid, you know what I mean? No worries, you just riding a bike. Oh, that rear tire ain't got no grip. And right here is where the real test begins. Let's go into a higher gear. I'm in the 3x. These gears switch good. Got the Shimano XTR. Still got the push and pull lever. I love it. This is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it's awesome. All right, here's our downhill. See what this feels like. I might have to 2-finger brake it. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Are these new bikes overrated or what? This thing feels legit. Now these tires got me a little nervous. I ain't gonna dig in too much, because these tires might give out on me. This is so sick. Let's go through this little rock section. Oh yeah, this is sick. I'm not gonna lie, it's sick. I gotta compare this to something, but I gotta hit a little more of this trail to really make an honest assumption about it, or an honest judgment about it, I should say. I gotta admit, I rode the Ozark Trail dual slalom out here, bone stock, nothing upgraded at all, not the handlebars, not anything. And if I'm being honest, I gotta be honest, this feels better than that bike did riding these trails. Just the small bump compliance. I wouldn't say necessarily the grip, because obviously these tires are not as big and wide as the ones on the Walmart bike. But I mean, as far as how the trail feels, the bumps, just the ride quality itself going in a straight line, this feels a lot better. I'm actually shocked about this. Now it really makes me wonder if this bike had 29s on it and like some 2.4s or something, how good this will ride. But you can't go back in the past. But as for what this is crazy that it rides so good. Oh, this is crazy. Let's go. Yeah, this is the real deal. I see why they used these back then now. I'm flying. I got a 2-finger brake it though, just to be safe. 25 years old. And still, you can still rip the trails with it. This rear tire is really low on tread. So I want to make sure I don't come into these corners too hot. But I gotta admit, this bike is feeling really good considering what it is. Got some chain slap, but nothing too outrageous, honestly. Got a little air right there. Let's go. I'm ripping on this thing. Oh my goodness. Those rim brakes. I almost forgot what I was dealing with. Yeah, the only thing I'm really worried about on this bike is the rear tire, and that's it. Other than that, I feel confident on this thing. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. I just rode my Priority 600 HXT out here 2 days ago, and I got a serious question. After riding this bike, how did mountain biking get to where it is, to where I could ride something like this that's 25 years old? You saw what I've been doing on this bike. I feel perfectly fine. 97% of people ride these kind of trails, but entry-level mountain bikes seem to be like not good enough for some people's standards. Like after riding this, I just can't even like fathom how it got to that point. And I'm sitting here riding something like this on these trails when they have stuff like the fast flow, the Polygon that will like rip and eat these trails alive. But I can do that with this. And I feel like I'm just a regular dude. I don't know, I'm not trying to be negative or nothing. I'm just like, how did they, I guess I needed to get on this and just get some perspective, because it's just a bike on 2 wheels. And yeah, you have to have certain components and stuff. This is kind of small, so bigger, taller people probably wouldn't be able to ride this. So there are variables, but I just don't know how we got to this point. It even gives me perspective, like all these things that I've been talking about. And that's just because it's the standard. Like I still feel strongly about, if they're gonna charge you premium prices, they should give you what they would consider modern standards nowadays. So that's why I harp on the standards, not because you need them, it's because you're paying a premium and you're not getting them. But just look at this. I'm on rim brakes. A 3x drivetrain. It just really makes you wonder, man. Like, this is not like a TV or electronics or something. This is hardware. It's a bike on 2 wheels. How much more innovative can you get? Now, this is what I've always said as well. The biggest things to come to mountain biking, in my opinion, is the dropper post and the e-bike. That's it. Like, the electric mountain bike and the dropper post was the most innovative things, in my opinion, that I can see the most differences in when I'm riding than anything else. I mean, you can say brakes and stuff like that, but super, super innovative, that where you can just get these outrageous prices out of people and stuff. I haven't really seen anything that's super innovative like that, except the dropper post, which is not a bunch of money, but the e-bike, that's definitely innovative. Oh, I done dropped the chain. That's why we need that clutch. I spoke too soon. I said, oh, we wasn't having issues with no chain slap, but had an issue with the chain dropping. I'm kind of starting to wonder, did we take this mountain biking stuff way too far? Because if I could still shred on this thing with tubes in it with like 1-inch tires, man, that lets you know how capable these bikes are. Even these bikes back from way back when. This is why I don't get why people take this stuff so serious, where you mad because, let's go. You mad because I'm saying a Walmart bike is actually legitimately good. And people are like, oh, it's gonna do this and that, brake fall apart. I'm out here on a 25-year-old bike. And look what I'm doing. You telling me that fast flow wouldn't survive stuff like this over a long period of time? Or even the dual slalom, let alone other bikes. Those are just the bikes I'm saying because those are the ones that get the most flack. But look what I'm doing out here. Like, come on, these people just take this stuff way too serious sometimes. And this is actually super fun. This bike is fast as hell, actually. So that's what I don't get. It's like, man, let's just ride bikes and have fun. I'm legitimately having fun on this thing. And it's really crazy that I'm not feeling super uncomfortable on these bumps. I'm really shocked about that, honestly. Man, come on. Some people just gotta calm down and relax. These bikes are just so good. Even way back in the early 2000s. Look at this. And I've seen high-end bikes a few times since I've been out here already. And I'm riding the same trails they riding. Let's get up this. Let's get up that. Let's go. Watch me get up this. Y'all think this is a game? This ain't no game. Look at that. This ain't no game. I just caught these dudes that were way ahead of me on this bike. I'm telling you, this bike is flying. No wonder this was used as a race bike. This is so eye-opening right now to see a 25-year-old bike be able to do this. like I said, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to get some honest feedback and perspective, because I'm like, what are we doing? And this is just to the people who think the premium stuff is the end all be all. What are you really trying to accomplish? Like, I honestly feel dumb myself for some of the stuff I've said and thought because of what I'm able to do on this bike. I've never really gone, well, I've never gone mountain biking on a bike this old before. And it's humbling knowing that you can ride these same trails on a bike like this. Look at this rock garden. Bet you I can get through it. Look at that. Bet you I can get through it. Let's just do this while we at it. Look at that. See what I mean? Shit, let's just do this then. It's just unbelievable. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know how we got to this point. Now, I totally get innovation and the innovative bikes allow you to do more. Like, I wouldn't go send this off a drop or anything like that. But just think about it. Most people who have those bikes that you could do all that with don't do any of that stuff anyway, that the bike is even capable of. And I'm not saying that they have to. But how is it not okay for somebody to ride something that they don't want to spend a ton of money on, that they won't be doing all that stuff with anyway? Because the people who have the bikes, they don't do it either. And I know you might say, oh, it's more comfortable. And I definitely understand, and I get that, but that's not what people talk about when they say budget bikes and stuff. They talk about components and entry level. Oh, it can't do certain things. Man, I'm out here ripping on a 25-year-old bike. I've also ridden a Trek Marlin 6 out here as well. I forgot about that. And I want to know, how does this bike feel as good or even better than a Trek Marlin 25 years later? Like, how does this fork feel a little more plush than what they put on there? This stuff is really making me wonder. And yeah, I know they made bikes a lot better back then, but come on, this fork feeling just as good 25 years ago on a bike that's supposedly high quality, like the Trek Marlin, which I used to rant and rave about, but nowadays I can't recommend the Trek Marlin. I don't think the value is there. Not even close, honestly. As smooth as the gear shift, and it's so quiet. I've heard so many bikes out here just creaking and all kind of noises, and this bike is just smooth cruising. The gears shift unbelievably smooth, and this is XTR, so I'm sure XTR was top of the line back then, but still 25 years later, oh man. And this bike still shifts better than a lot of bikes nowadays. It's just hard to believe.